guys. I'm Tori Workman. I'm the Director of Content Acquisition for SDA Media, and I'm here with...
I'm Alina Piccinini. I'm the Community Manager, and I deal directly with our social media.
Awesome. So we're back for another coffee break, and we're going to be talking about how we utilize relevant content for growth on Instagram. So Alina, I'll throw it to you first for how you feel relevant content impacts growth.
So just with social media in general, content is such a big thing, whether you're running a business page or an entertainment page. And just with the pandemic right now, we notice that there's a big transition as to what content does well. One of the main keys that you have to focus on is what's going to make your users happy every day. What kind of content are they going to see that they're going to want to share and that they're really going to want to distribute, just to make your page more popular and to gain more people. The more shares typically transfers into follows. So growth is always happening, but you can really drive it forward by really focusing on what content does well on your page. It has to fit some type of theme. It has to make your audience happy, and it has to convert into shares. A lot of things that I've noticed right now with the coronavirus pandemic is just a big switch into what does well, because people have more time on their hands. They are probably going to sit and watch a video that might be 5 minutes long that before they just really did not have the time for. It's really a big transition phase right now, and it's just always changing. So that's something that people really need to stay on top of.
Right.
Switching back to you with like the licensing, how do you think this pandemic has really changed user-generated content?
In a million ways. There's a lot of real need for user-generated content because due to the state that the world's in, production is halted. Just the way that brands communicate with their users is totally different and has to be. Everyone's kind of had to reevaluate the way that they talk to their consumers. And with UGC, user-generated content, it's the perfect way to connect to them. We're able to share videos that people are taking in their homes and in their backyards, and sharing activities that they haven't done before or learning new things and failing. There's been such wonderful content that we're seeing, and it's really encouraging to see how brands are leveraging it in completely different ways, and using that to propel growth, especially on Instagram. This is a great time to be connecting with consumers, and it's been really encouraging to see that and see the way that they're using it. And how, just on your end, so you deal with a lot of the growth on our Instagram account specifically, how are you utilizing different types of content to drive that growth?
So for the most part, not on just our Be Viral page, but all of our side pages, we typically focus on video content because that's what we license. Like I said before, the sharing of content really is what transfers into follows. And at times it seems that static memes, just photos, tend to do better than videos do because more people are likely to share it because it might be more relevant. It might be something that more people can relate to rather than a video is kind of niche that like some people can relate to, but it's entertaining. And right now too, there's so many different things that have happened in the past 3 months, that memes there's new ones that come out every single day. So that's something that you just really have to stay on top of, and people want to be the first to share this meme with their friends. So they want to be the first to see it. And if they know that you're a page that will share that content, then they're more likely to follow you and you're more likely to grow. So you have to really stay on top of it, which
Right.
is just crazy to think of because social media is always changing, that it is hard to stay on top of.
Yes, definitely something it's hard to keep a pulse on it, but that's so important because just as you said, what's relevant today wasn't relevant 6 months ago and won't be relevant 6 months ahead. So it's really important to keep a pulse on what's happening not only in the world, but what people are talking about on social media and how they're responding to content. And from a brand standpoint and entertainment, any kind of social media, it's really important to keep a pulse on how do we stay relevant while also being sensitive to what's going on in the world. There's a really fine line between providing comedic relief and then being kind of insensitive and coming across in a way that's portrayed negatively. So that's something to really be mindful of in staying relevant is also providing good quality information that's kind of lighthearted and harmless, because we never want to bring negative attention to the brands. So that's something that I'm sure is you've kept a really tight pulse on, is making sure that pages are somewhere that people can come for happy comedic relief and not somewhere that's negative.
Yeah, and just going back off of that, as a brand, you never want to be spreading misleading information. And that's something that, especially right now, but all the time, you just need to stay on top of, especially because platforms like Instagram and Facebook, they're not going to be happy with accounts or different brands that might be portraying information just to get follows. So we really have had to focus on that. And that's important for any brand, is staying relevant while putting out great information that is useful to everybody and not just going to benefit one side or just going to get you follows. So finding that in between is definitely tough, but it's very important just to move forward and to grow as a brand.
Right. Absolutely. And doing nothing to kind of jeopardize that credibility, I think is really important. You make a great point there with not spreading false information. That's another just sensitivity issue that we want to make sure that everyone stays super honed in on, to just maintain, make sure you're focusing on the tone, the way that you're presenting content, be super intentional about what message that you're sending, so that you're providing content that can be easily shared, that is going to help you grow, and in all of the positive ways that it should, and not run into any kind of PR issue on that front. But
definitely.
Thanks, Lena, though, for chatting with me. It's been fun talking to you about this. If anyone else has comments or feedback on what we discussed today, we'd love to hear it. Thanks for being with us on another coffee break.